Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Space Quest 6, the Spinal Frontier. It's back. I know it's been a while, I'm sorry I've been away, but we're ready to carry on and we're going to crack on with more of these data entries about whatever this stuff contains. I think we got about halfway through it, if I remember correctly, in the database. Entity database, that's the one. Known races, I think that's where we were. I think we did F to M, so now we're going to do N to R. Nose Nugget Nomads. These lumpen creatures toddle around the universe in wood-panelled station wagons with their sack-like children in tow. They go on sightseeing tours that last upwards of 30,000 years. During these tours they take literally millions of slides, most of which show them waving high on every dinky little planet, asteroid and intergalactic tourist trap in the Crab Nebula. During their hibernation phase, which lasts about 4,000 years, they have their film developed. When they awaken, they watch their slides. Entire civilizations have risen and fallen during one of the Nose Nugget slideshows. Nose Nuggets pride themselves on their gustatorial flexibility. They eat whatever foods are native to the location they're visiting. On planets where the natives subsist mainly on Nose Nuggets, this presents the Nose Nuggets with a difficult situation in which they often end up having to eat themselves. Lovely. Okay, so if people aren't familiar, there's a lot of references in here to previous Space Quest games, some witty stuff like that as well, and some codes, which I think we're probably going to need in some capacity. I don't know how. I think it might have something to do with the vending machines, but other than that, I've got no ideas at all. Orats. These aggressive carnivores have been the bane of visitors to the planet Corona for hundreds of years. Hulking and heavily muscled, Orats walk on two powerful hind legs. We met one of those, didn't we? They enjoy crushing other life forms with their massive forearms. They also enjoy basketball and often combine the two by playing a quick game of one-on-one with a recent catch. Interestingly, or not, the flesh of the Orat is highly prized for its flavour and buttery texture. It's found as a common ingredient in the cuisines of several different planets. As a result, there is a burgeoning black market in Orat poaching. For that reason, the Orat is considered an endangered species, but nobody seems to mind except for a few chefs. Okay. 3. Pestilon Monochrome Boys. You won't find the monochrome boys in their native habitat. These foul-mouthed, belligerent beasts spend most of the time zipping around on hardly dramamines, bullying weaker life forms and tinkering with their hogs. Not their motorcycles, but they're real hogs. Don't ask, you don't want to know. The monochrome boys are so named because of their unusual white and grey pigmentation. The blotchy blemishes are partly responsible for their sour demeanour. Do not make eye contact. Should they force a confrontation, do not call them monochrome or boys. It's alright for them to call each other monochrome, but it's not okay for anyone else. The diet of monochrome boys consists mainly of any other life form that has a light, crunchy exoskeleton. Yummy. Fleabutt pod snatchers. The only other life form indigenous to Fleabutt other than the Fleabuttinskis, pod snatchers hang from that purplish rock formations that dot the landscape. We remember those from Space Quest 3. They attach themselves by means of a strong solid muscle, and their tough, chitinous outer shell protects them from potential predators. At birth, the pod snatcher cannot focus on its prey. Fortunately, it has glands located near its tear ducts that secrete a liquid glass that hardens and forms a lens over the eye, usually in about an hour. Imagine that, lenses in about an hour. The pod snatcher then looks down from its upside down perch and unrolls a sticky, extensible tongue that can pick up an enemy 250 times its own weight, snag a fly moving over 35 km per hour, or perform several dubious tricks designed to get it onto Quadrant 12's funniest home videos. Their favourite food is Fleabuttinskis, but since there are no Fleabuttinskis left on the planet, they mostly eat sand. Or Roger Wilco's. 5. Fleabuttinskis. On Fleabutt, the laws of natural selection are clearly illustrated, particularly in how they can sometimes go horribly awry and produce a poorly adapted race totally incapable of surviving its native habitat. The creatures native to Fleabutt are collectively called Fleabuttinskis or Blats for short. Festa Blats is one of those. They have 3 fingers which end in suction cups, ideal for grasping small prey or souvenirs.
You summoned.
They have oversized pupils for seeing in dim light, large yellow incisors for cutting through food, and long narrow nostrils to protect against inhaling most foreign objects. Unfortunately, the planet of Fleabutt, a greenish dust ball, has no small prey to grasp. It is brightly lit throughout the day-night cycle, features deposits of naturally occurring pulpy food, which must be gummed extensively before being swallowed. Replicator, here we go, 6. It would help if my pen actually worked, wouldn't it? Let's try another one. Always have a backup pen. 6, and the backup pen does not work either. That's fantastic. So, plan C, we'll write it down on my phone. It's going really well today, guys, isn't it, the return? 6588644. Okay, cool. So that's that. Next page. And has rock formations which cast off long, narrow slivers of mica, which are easily inhaled by the blats. These mica slivers can cause extensive lacerations on the sinus cavities, thus any blat who is fortunate enough to survive the atmosphere typically loses his teeth, goes blind or starves quickly. In fact, there is only one known currently surviving blats who has moved off of Fleabutt to seek a more hospitable environment. That would be Fester, who we met at the beginning of the game again. Pinkuns. The Pinkuns are a race of many contrasts. They're so cute you just want to eat them up. I wonder if those are the ones from Space Quest 2. But you can't because they're very tough and you can chew them for hours without making any headway. Which is alright because they taste horrible. They live on Labion and create elaborate warrens or dens, yes it is them. They also swim through the Labion swamps with ease since they use certain berries to repel the swamp slurpees that inhabit the marshes and bayous. It's interesting because if we played this game first and then went back to the other games after reading all this, we'd know exactly how to solve a lot of puzzles without all the deaths. However, the berries are ineffective against the monstrous killer cave beavers who invade the dens and feast on the Pinkuns within. The cave beavers are not intelligent enough to figure out how tough and chewy the Pinkuns are, and often sample every Pinkuns in the den before realising that none of them are tender enough to eat. Pinkuns are herbivorous, so they only eat creatures named Herb. They will also eat the young shoots of the Wandering Atheist. Replicator. 4366314. We've got a lot of these codes to try, haven't we?
No.
More. Okay, we've read all those ones. Let's go back. S to Z. Saurians from the first game. The Saurians are a humanoid race, treacherous, evil, but always eager to please. The Saurians make wonderful hosts, especially if you're their enemy. They pride themselves on their techniques of torture, mutilation, disfigurement, napkin folding, and selecting the right wine to go with whichever enemy they're eating. They're also easily offended should you insinuate that they're doing less than their best to grind you into a fine red paste. Saurians are omnivores, preferring to eat old back issues of Omni. Okay. Space monkeys! Billions of years ago, the planet Serenia was devastated by a collision with an asteroid. All water evaporated from the ecosystem. Every day the inhabitants survived was a victory. Eventually all life perished, or so it was believed. Many of the life forms adapted by encapsulating themselves in cyst-like eggs. When these eggs are immersed in water, they hatch, as we discovered in Space Quest 5, I believe, maybe 4. One such life form was known as the brine monkey, a tiny water-breathing simian. Sereno products mined the planet for its huge deposits of brine monkey eggs. While they're at it, they also mined encysted brine apes, brine marsupials, and brine aardvarks. Sereno has since marketed the monkey eggs under the trademark name Space Monkeys in comic books. Space monkeys prefer space food sticks. Okay, here we go. We've got two things here, which is 6834468 or tangy pecan brine bananas 6588126. God, there are a lot of things to try in this vending machine. Spiny alien fangs. Spiny alien fangs are a marvel of adaptive ability. With exoskeletons far too cumbersome to permit traditional reproductive techniques, spiny alien fangs have learned to propagate by kissing. This is not a little platonic kiss, it contains a fertilised egg which heads straight for the victim's stomach. Here it absorbs nutrients from days or weeks, like a parasite, only, well, just like a parasite. This is the thing in Space Quest 1, I believe, the alien from the Alien movies. I think it's Space Quest 1. Next page. When it senses the most dramatic moment possible, it bursts forth from the stomach in a spectacular display of special effects. This explosion naturally kills the host, obviously the xenomorph, but called spiny alien fangs in this. But isn't it worth it for all the cool gore, especially if the host was merely an extra and not a highly paid guest star? Okay, Vulgars. What are these? The Vulgars are a peaceful race of brilliant and logical thinkers whose only real joy in life is to stride around the galaxy with superior attitudes and correct other people's grammar and spelling. They also enjoy designing outer space strategy simulation games. This makes them nearly as insufferable as university academics, why can't I say that? But not as well paid. Moving on. Considering their placid and studious lifestyle, it's interesting to note that the Vulgars have developed an extremely practical martial arts technique called the Vulgar Nerve Pinch. Like the Vulcan Death Grip, I'm guessing. This is a tactile oral maneuver. Oral? Should that be? I don't know. Maneuver in which the pincher pinches the bundle of nerve fibers at the base of the neck while whispering dialogue from either Tango or Cash or Hudson Hawk. Yeah, so it's the Vulcan Death Grip. This particular combination of stimuli results in a searing flash of pain and then unconsciousness, which can last for several hours. The technique is demonstrated in Hollow Joint Program 555. 1212. Hollow Joint Program. So I wonder if that has something to do with the Holodeck, maybe? I think, was it Daredevil mentioned, could we do anything else in the Holodeck as well? So that's actually both things on my list, to use the vending machine and to try seeing if there's anything else we could run in the Holodeck program. Maybe it's something else, I don't know. But anyway, okay, that is the last one. So, I'll tell you what, guys, because we've done quite a bit of reading, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to exit this, and we will try going to the... right, sorry, I didn't want to exit that. I wanted to use the transporter. Where is the... Is it 8 rear?
Don't pick...
Let's see. Where's the sort of mess hall? Yeah, this is it. I think, wasn't this the one that was working? I know there's one somewhere on the ship which was working. So we're going to have to punch in all of these numbers. Do these? Oh yeah, they do work. Alright, well, let's try some of them, shall we? 6, 8,
It sure does.
8, 3, 0, 6, 2, 0. Let's just see. Okay.
It sure doesn't.
That, okay. So that didn't do anything. So maybe what we've got to do is just trial and error all of these until we find one that does do something. 6, 8, 7. Okay.
This is the replicator hatch, a sliding door behind which is hidden the vortex resonance coils and the molecular soylentization generator.
Okay. So it doesn't seem to be doing... Maybe it is a case of just needing to get exactly the right code then. 803. No, nothing. 271 2096. No. Okay, we're just going to try them all. 6, 7, 6, 2, 8, 7, 6. Apologies, I know that this probably isn't the most interesting thing to watch me doing this, but we've got a bit of time at the end of this episode, so we may as well make the most of it, right? 9, 6, 9. Nothing. Okay. What else have we got? 6, 5, 8, 8. 5, 6, 1. No. Okay. 8, 7, 7, 1, 8, 7, 7. No, nothing. Alright, well that just leaves us with the ones that we got from today's episode, I think, then. So let's try some of those. 6, 5, 8, 8, 644. Nothing. What's the point of the stars and the dots? 4 3 6 6 3 1 4. They're all the right length, which makes you think it's got to be something to do with this. 6 8 3 4 4 6 8. Nothing. Okay. 6 5 8 8 1 2 6. Nothing. 5 5 5 1 2 1 2. Now this is the one they said about the hollow thing. Yeah, that's doing nothing. Alright, well, that doesn't seem to be turning up anything at all. And we're actually out of time now, guys. So what we'll do in the next one, we'll go to the Holodeck place, see if we can enter any of those codes in there, or if there's any other, like, programs that were on there, like Daredevil suggested, and see if we can find anything. But that is going to do it for this one. So as always, thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to my patrons Arcades Games, Wayne, Nate, Terminally Nerdy, Paul from the Phantom Fellows, Lyle, Barry Aldridge, and Hobo for all the support on the channel. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you next time.